Are you ready to embrace the fullness of life as you grow older, or do you find yourself feeling disconnected, lonely, or even overwhelmed by the changes around you? As we age, many of us face challenges like isolation, neglecting our health, or carrying too many burdens. But these challenges don't have to define our golden years. In this video, we're going to explore the key factors that can either lift you or hold you back in your later years, helping you transform your mindset and lifestyle to live your best life. You'll learn why relationships and emotional connections are more vital than ever, how taking care of your health can enhance both your life expectancy and quality of life, and the importance of letting go of unnecessary stress and obligations. We'll also uncover how you can avoid the trap of comparison, find joy in simple things, and prioritize your well-being. Stay tuned until the end because we'll also share practical tips for staying flexible and adapting to the changes that come with aging, ensuring that your life is filled with purpose, happiness, and vitality. Whether you're already in your later years or planning for them, this video is packed with advice that can help you build a meaningful, connected, and fulfilling life. Let's begin this journey of rediscovery together. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Don't live in isolation. Breaking down the walls of loneliness in old age. As we grow older, it can feel natural to retreat from the world around us. Maybe it's the ache of a body that no longer moves as freely or the sight of friends slowly disappearing from our lives. Perhaps it's the sense of being a burden to children and grandchildren, or simply the silence that seems more comforting than the chaos of a busy world. Whatever the reason, isolation often sneaks into our lives like an unwanted guest. At first, it may feel like a soothing calm, but over time, it turns into a crushing weight of loneliness, one that quietly steals the joy and meaning from our days. Living in isolation is more than just being alone. It's a hollow state of being that chips away at both body and soul. The walls we build to protect ourselves can quickly become barriers to connection, locking us in with our fears and leaving us vulnerable to the ravages of loneliness. Studies consistently show that isolation leads to a higher risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even physical illnesses such as heart disease. It's heartbreaking to realize that something as simple as a lack of connection can become a force so destructive, accelerating the aging process and draining the vitality from our lives. Loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a thief. It robs us of the laughter of shared moments, the warmth of a kind word, and the sense of purpose that comes from being needed. Without someone to talk to share our stories and struggles, we can begin to feel invisible, as if the world has moved on without us. The light dims, and we retreat further into ourselves, caught in a vicious cycle where isolation breeds despair, and despair deepens our isolation. But it doesn't have to be this way. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It's a challenge, a call to action to reach out and reconnect. It takes courage to step out of the shadows, to extend a hand when you feel ignored or forgotten. Start small. Join a club, a book group, or a community event. Even a simple smile to a neighbor or a kind word to a stranger can plant the seeds of connection. You'd be amazed at how one small act can ripple outward, opening doors to friendships and shared joy. Hobbies, too, can be powerful allies in the fight against isolation. Rediscover the passions that once lit up your heart. Painting, gardening, writing, or learning something new, like playing an instrument or navigating the digital world. Social media, when used thoughtfully, can be a lifeline, connecting you to family, friends, and even new communities of like-minded people across the globe. And let's not underestimate the power of family. Yes, children and grandchildren are busy, but don't let pride or fear of rejection keep you from reaching out. A quick phone call, a heartfelt message, or even a visit can bridge the gap and remind you of the love that still surrounds you. Be present in their lives, share your wisdom, and take joy in their growth. Connection is a two-way street, and sometimes it starts with us taking the first step. Even when human connection feels distant, companionship can come in other forms. The loyal wag of a dog's tail, the soft purr of a cat, or the nurturing touch of soil in a garden can fill our hearts with warmth and remind us of the beauty still present in the world. These small but profound connections ground us, bringing comfort and reminding us that we are still part of the vast and vibrant web of life. Above all, remind yourself daily that old age is not a retreat, but a transformation. It's a time to savor life differently, to move more slowly yet deeply. There's still a world of joy, discovery, and love waiting beyond the walls of loneliness, but it takes a leap of faith to reach it. Open your door, both literally and figuratively. Step outside, breathe in the fresh air, and let the world surprise you. Each connection you make, no matter how small, can bring light back into your life. Loneliness does not have the final say. With bravery and an open heart, you can turn this chapter of life into one rich with meaning, friendship, and joy. Remember, the world is wide, and it's waiting for you. All you need to do is say yes. 2. Not caring about your health. Neglect brings a heavy price. Health is the most priceless gift we have, yet it's often the most taken for granted. For many, the true value of health becomes heartbreakingly clear only when it's already slipping away. In the golden years of life, caring for your health isn't just about adding more years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. It's about waking up each morning with energy, enjoying simple pleasures, and sharing joyful moments with loved ones without the shadow of illness looming overhead. Yet, so many of us neglect this treasure, brushing aside the small signs our body gives us until they grow into a storm of consequences. Neglecting health is like ignoring a leaking roof. It may not seem urgent at first, but one day, the damage becomes too great to ignore. That nagging fatigue, those subtle aches, or that creeping forgetfulness could very well be the early whispers of more serious conditions. Diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or worse. Aging is a natural process. We can't stop time. But failing to nurture our bodies accelerates the wear and tear, turning what could have been peaceful years into painful ones. Imagine being unable to hold your grandchild because of arthritis, or missing a family gathering because your blood sugar levels are dangerously unstable. It's heartbreaking to think how many precious moments could be lost, all because we didn't prioritize our health when we could. Worse still, neglecting your well-being doesn't just hurt you, it deeply impacts the people you love. Picture your children and grandchildren juggling hospital visits, medication schedules, and rising medical bills, all while managing their own busy lives. Think of the emotional weight it places on them to see someone they cherish in pain or struggling with daily tasks. None of us want to become a burden to our families, but by ignoring our health, we risk doing just that. How can we be a source of happiness and guidance for the younger generation if our health holds us back? The good news is that it's never too late to make a change. Start small, but start today. Nutrition is a cornerstone of good health, and it doesn't require fancy diets or supplements. A simple shift to meals rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins can work wonders. Minimize salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats, not just for the sake of avoiding disease, but because a well-nourished body feels lighter, more energetic, and more capable of facing each day. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Physical activity, too, is essential. You don't need to run marathons. Even gentle, consistent movements like daily walks, Tai Chi, or chair yoga can transform how your body feels. These activities improve circulation, strengthen muscles, and bring a sense of vitality that medicine alone can't provide. If movement is difficult, breathing exercises or stretches can still help rejuvenate your mind and body. Regular health checkups are another non-negotiable. Don't wait until discomfort forces you to see a doctor. Be proactive. Early detection of potential issues is a gift you give to yourself and your family, saving not just costs but also the emotional toll of advanced illnesses. Prevention is always kinder than cure. And let's not forget the importance of mental health. A joyful heart can often be a better healer than the strongest pills. Take time to laugh, to pursue hobbies, and to connect with people who uplift you. Play with your grandchildren, share meals with friends, or lose yourself in a good book. These small pleasures are the soul's way of staying young, even as the years pass. In the end, caring for your health is an act of self-love and an expression of love for those around you. It's a commitment to showing up for life, not just existing, but truly living. Every small step you take today brings you closer to a healthier, happier tomorrow. Don't let regret be the voice that reminds you of health's value. Let gratitude and action guide you instead. Your health is not just the foundation of a long life. It's the gateway to joy, connection, and purpose. Cherish it, protect it, and nurture it. The rewards are beyond measure, for you and for those who hold you dear. 3. Don't take on too much work. Letting go is a way to live peacefully. In our later years, society often whispers a cruel lie, that if we're not constantly busy, we lose our value. Many older individuals cling to this belief, feeling an almost desperate need to prove their worth. They take on too much, working tirelessly to support their children, help raise their grandchildren, or even continue their careers long after their energy has waned. But this pursuit of busyness is a double-edged sword. Rather than giving life more meaning, it often brings exhaustion, emotional strain, and a heavy heart. When you push yourself beyond your limits, you pay a price far greater than you realize. Physically, your body becomes weary, and recovery slows. Mentally, the stress of meeting expectations, whether they come from others or yourself, chips away at your peace. When the results fall short, the disappointment can feel like a personal failure, adding an unnecessary burden to your already fragile heart. Think of those who sacrificed their precious hours of rest to help raise their grandchildren, only to find their efforts misunderstood. What was meant as an act of love might be seen as overstepping boundaries. This misalignment leads to feelings of being unappreciated, which can spiral into resentment, loneliness, and regret. Why put yourself through this emotional turmoil when old age is supposed to be a time of ease and joy? Taking on too many responsibilities also robs you of something priceless, the chance to savor life. How many elderly people neglect their own needs to chase after tasks that no longer suit them? They miss out on the quiet pleasure of watching a sunset, the thrill of revisiting a long-lost hobby, or even the profound joy of simply resting without guilt. These moments, simple as they may seem, are the true treasures of life, and they slip away when you burden yourself unnecessarily. Letting go isn't about abandoning your duties. It's about realizing you've already done enough. Old age is a chapter meant for self-care, reflection, and renewal. This is your time to bask in the fruits of your labor, to cherish the years you've earned through hard work and love. You've given so much to your family and community. Now it's time to give yourself the same generosity. If you fear that stepping back will make you irrelevant, let me reassure you, your worth is not tied to how many tasks you complete. Your mere presence, your wisdom, kindness, and love are irreplaceable gifts to your family. A peaceful, healthy, and happy version of you is far more valuable than an overworked, stressed one. Learning to say no is not selfish, it is necessary. You don't have to accept every request for help from your children, your friends, or even society. Choose only the tasks that genuinely resonate with you and match your current abilities. And don't shy away from explaining your need for rest. Those who truly care for you will understand and respect your boundaries. Instead, fill your days with what brings you joy. Rediscover hobbies you once loved, whether it's gardening, painting, or simply enjoying a good book. Join a community group or take leisurely walks in nature. These moments of self-indulgence aren't frivolous. They're the essence of a life well lived. Most importantly, remind yourself that your happiness isn't tied to accomplishments or ticking off to-do lists. It lies in the quiet, beautiful moments of the present, the laughter of a grandchild, the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the serenity of a peaceful afternoon. Letting go is not a weakness. It's a strength, a declaration that you deserve to live lightly, freely, and fully. When you finally allow yourself to release the weight of unnecessary burdens, you'll uncover a profound truth. Life's greatest joys often come from the simplest moments. Old age is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where you learn to love yourself deeply, savor each day, and share your presence with those who cherish you. And remember, you don't need to prove your worth by how much you do. Your very being, your wisdom, your love, your story, is a treasure beyond measure. You are enough, exactly as you are. 4. Don't be rigid. Be flexible to live more lightly. Old age often carries with it a sense of stability in our thoughts, actions, and routines. After all, we've spent decades forming habits, principles, and a way of living that feels like second nature. While this stability can be comforting, it can also morph into rigidity, an unwillingness to adapt or change, that robs us of life's many joys, strains relationships, and keeps us stuck in an ever-narrowing world. Flexibility, on the other hand, opens the door to harmony, understanding, and a vibrant connection with the ever-changing world around us. Rigidness often sneaks into our daily lives in subtle but impactful ways. We insist on meals being prepared a certain way, cling to long-standing routines, or demand that conversations with family follow our terms. Although these habits may feel harmless, they can create invisible walls between us and our loved ones, especially the younger generation. Think about it. How often have we dismissed their ideas with, "That's not how it's done," or stubbornly insisted on our tried-and-true ways? While we may see it as holding on to wisdom, they may feel stifled, misunderstood, or even distant. Rigidity doesn't just alienate us from others. It builds a barrier to the joy of shared growth and understanding. Beyond relationships, refusing to adapt makes life's inevitable changes feel overwhelming. The world is always evolving. Technologies emerge, cultures shift, and new values replace the old. If we resist these changes, we risk feeling left behind, disconnected, and lonely. For example, rejecting smartphones as too complicated may seem like a small choice, but it can isolate us from family, friends, and a world of knowledge and entertainment. The beauty of these changes isn't just inconvenience. It's in the opportunity they bring for connection and growth if only we are willing to reach out. So how can we cultivate the gift of flexibility? First, it begins with a simple but profound shift: curiosity. Instead of immediately rejecting something new, try to understand why it matters to someone else. Ask questions like, "What makes this important to you?" Or, "How could this benefit me?" This small change in perspective can soften our defenses and make us more open to learning from others. There's wisdom in recognizing that everyone, no matter their age or experience, has something valuable to teach us. Next, start small. Experiment with little changes in your routine: a different breakfast, a new walking route, or learning a basic feature on a smartphone. Each new experience is a spark of joy and a gentle exercise for the brain, helping to keep memory sharp and the mind youthful. These small steps remind us that adaptability doesn't require grand transformations. It's the willingness to try that matters most. Don't hesitate to seek help when something feels daunting. There's no shame in admitting we don't know everything. In fact, it's a sign of strength. Imagine the bond you can form with your grandchildren or younger friends by asking them to teach you something new. You're not just learning. You're showing them the power of humility, curiosity, and the courage to embrace change. Flexibility also means resilience in the face of challenges. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and clinging rigidly to old solutions often creates frustration or despair. Instead, allow yourself the freedom to explore alternative paths. Being flexible doesn't mean abandoning your core values. It means adjusting them to meet new realities, like a tree bending gracefully in the wind without breaking. Finally, engage with the younger generation. Their stories, ideas, and experiences can be a window into the vibrant, ever-evolving world they navigate. Listening to them doesn't mean losing your voice. It's about blending their creativity with your wisdom to create something beautiful. This exchange isn't just enriching for them. It keeps your spirit alive and your worldview fresh. Flexibility isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to strength, wisdom, and the courage to grow at any age. By choosing adaptability, you unlock the peace that comes with accepting life's changes, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere within your family and community. So, let go of the need to control everything. Embrace what's new, not with fear but with curiosity. The future holds more joy than we can imagine if we're open to receiving it. True happiness isn't found in clinging to the past. It's in welcoming the possibilities of today and tomorrow with an open heart. 5. Don't be stingy with yourself. Don't deny what you deserve. As we grow older, there's a tendency to become overly cautious, clinging to habits of thriftiness that have shaped our lives for decades. It's natural, after years of saving and sacrificing for our families or uncertain futures, to hold back when it comes to spending on ourselves. But in these precious later years, if we deny ourselves the joys we've earned, we risk living a life that feels unnecessarily hollow, a life where abundance is available, yet the heart feels deprived. To withhold from yourself what you rightfully deserve is more than just an act of frugality. It's a disservice to your spirit. It sends the quiet but damaging message that your needs, your happiness, and even your existence are somehow less important. This mindset can create a deep sense of unfulfillment, leaving you trapped in fear of what might happen, instead of embracing what is. Sadly, many elderly individuals continue saving every penny, worrying about future uncertainties, but in doing so, they sacrifice the beauty and joy of the present. Think about it. How often do you deny yourself small pleasures? That delicious meal you crave but skip because it feels unnecessary, the cozy coat you've been eyeing but decide not to buy, or the vacation you dream of but quickly dismiss as too extravagant. Even indulging in hobbies you once loved, painting, gardening, or learning something new, feels like a luxury you can't afford. But this excessive self-restraint doesn't secure your old age. It impoverishes it, creating a life void of the simple joys that make it truly worthwhile. Life is fleeting. The years you have now are a gift, an opportunity to savor the fruits of your decades of effort. Why live in fear or cling to a sense of lack when you have already done the hard work? Spending wisely on yourself isn't recklessness. It's an act of love and respect for the journey you've traveled. It enriches your soul and revitalizes your sense of purpose. Treat yourself to experiences and moments that matter. A leisurely afternoon sipping coffee at a cafe, a weekend getaway with loved ones, or even something as simple as buying a bouquet to brighten your home, these aren't frivolous acts. They're celebrations of life itself, grounding you in joy and helping maintain your mental and emotional well-being. These moments of self-kindness are the threads that weave a rich and fulfilling tapestry of old age. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When you invest in your happiness, you also nourish your ability to care for others. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you're fulfilled and at peace, your positive energy radiates to those around you, lifting their spirits as well. The joy you allow yourself to feel becomes a gift you pass on to your family, friends, and community. More than anything, treating yourself well reaffirms your self-worth. Tells you, and the world, that you matter. You're not merely existing but truly living, with dignity and appreciation for all you've achieved. You deserve comfort, peace, and happiness, not because you've earned them, but because these are the natural rewards of life well lived. So, don't let frugality rob you of what's left of your time. This stage of life is your moment to embrace freedom, indulge wisely, and finally place yourself at the center of your care and attention. The years ahead are not just about survival, they're about thriving. Treat yourself with the kindness, generosity, and love you've given to others for so long. You deserve nothing less. 6. Avoid negativity. finding the light in every situation. Life, as we all know, is far from a perfectly paved road. Especially as we grow older, the twists and turns become more frequent, and the obstacles are sometimes harder to overcome. Aging often brings with it the aches of a weary body, the grief of losing cherished loved ones, and the quiet yet stark transformation of daily routines. But when we allow negativity to take root in our hearts, we only add more weight to an already heavy load. Negativity is a thief. It robs us of joy, saps our energy, and slowly dims the light of our spirit. Have you ever encountered someone who seems to live in a cloud of pessimism? Their words drip with complaints, and their view of aging is colored only by loss, frailty, and solitude. It's heartbreaking because they fail to see the quiet beauty that life still offers. They miss the soft glow of morning sunlight, the soothing rhythm of a favorite song, or the deep warmth of a shared laugh. Negativity blinds us to the treasures hidden in the ordinary, leaving us feeling empty even when life still has so much to give. Worrying about things that haven't yet come to pass is like carrying an umbrella every day, fearing rain that might never fall. If we constantly focus on the what-ifs of tomorrow, we lose the gift of today. Worse still, negativity has a ripple effect. It doesn't stay confined to our minds. It spills into our interactions, affecting the people we love. A home filled with complaints and pessimism becomes a place of tension and sadness, where laughter struggles to thrive. So, how do we escape this shadow of negativity and step into the light? First and foremost, shift your perspective. Yes, life is filled with hardships, but each challenge is a teacher in disguise. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me? How can I emerge stronger?" In every storm, there's a lesson waiting to be discovered, and in learning it, we find a kind of quiet strength. Look for beauty in the smallest details of your day. A steaming cup of coffee in the morning, the cheerful chirping of birds, or the gentle breeze that carries the scent of blooming flowers. All of these are reminders that life still holds wonder. Gratitude, even for the tiniest blessings, transforms the mundane into something magical. Forgiveness is another key to a lighter, more peaceful heart. Holding on to anger, regret, or bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. Free yourself from those chains. Forgive others, forgive yourself, and allow the weight of the past to slip away. In doing so, you'll make space for joy to grow. And don't underestimate the power of the company you keep. Surround yourself with those who lift you, who see the glass as half full, and share their optimism freely. Laughter, like positivity, is contagious. Spend time with those who remind you that life, even with its hardships, is worth celebrating. Remember, life is a patchwork quilt of struggles and triumphs, tears and laughter. But the choice to focus on light rather than darkness lies with us. When we embrace positivity, we open the door to peace, not just for ourselves, but for everyone we touch. Old age isn't the end of joy. It's the beginning of a new kind of beauty, a chance to slow down, reflect, and rediscover the simple pleasures that bring meaning to our days. With every smile you share, every moment of gratitude you feel, and every act of kindness you offer, you become a beacon of light in a world that can always use a little more warmth. 7. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has their own path. As we grow older, one of the most silent yet destructive traps we fall into is comparing ourselves to others. It's so easy to look around and notice those who appear to be more successful, healthier, or happier. In these moments, we can't help but ask ourselves, why isn't my life like theirs? What did I do wrong? This cycle of comparison can quietly chip away at our spirit, leaving us feeling inadequate, discouraged, and unworthy. But let me tell you, comparison is an illusion, a mirage that tricks you into undervaluing your journey. When we compare, we often see only the highlights of someone else's life. Their moments of triumph, their smiles, and their victories. What we don't see are the struggles behind those smiles, the sacrifices that built those successes, or the tears hidden behind closed doors. Every person carries burdens, but most don't wear them on their sleeves. What you envy in others might just be the result of battles they've fought that you know nothing about. Life isn't a race or a competition, especially in old age. Each of us walks a unique path shaped by our choices, experiences, and challenges. Think about it. Would you trade your life, with all its joys and sorrows, for someone else's? Probably not. Why? Because your journey, no matter how imperfect it may seem, is yours. It's filled with moments that have shaped who you are, lessons that have strengthened your heart, and stories that only you can tell. When you compare yourself to others, you rob yourself of joy. It's like standing in a garden full of beautiful flowers, but focusing on the one bloom that isn't yours. You overlook the beauty of your garden, the wisdom you've gained, the battles you've won, and the relationships you've nurtured. Comparisons are a thief of peace, an invisible weight that serves no purpose except to make you feel small. Especially in our later years, comparisons become even more unfair. Health, wealth, and happiness take on new meanings as time goes by. The truth is, no one has a perfect life, not even those who seem to have it all. That neighbor who seems so carefree may be battling loneliness. That friend who appears so healthy may be quietly managing a chronic condition. And that family member who seems to have a picture-perfect life? They, too, have their struggles behind the scenes. Instead of comparing, focus on celebrating your path. Think of all the storms you've weathered and the victories you've earned along the way. Celebrate the resilience that has carried you through tough times. Every wrinkle, every scar, and every memory is proof of a life lived fully, with courage and perseverance. You are not less because your life doesn't look like someone else's. You are enough just as you are. Let go of the habit of measuring your worth against others. Instead, ask yourself, am I becoming the best version of myself? Redirect your energy toward nurturing your happiness, creating meaningful moments, and finding peace in your heart. Every small step toward self-improvement is a victory worth celebrating. Remember, life is not about matching someone else's story. It's about writing your own. Be proud of the chapters you've already written and excited for the pages yet to come. You don't need to be anyone else to be valuable. You just need to embrace who you are. Choose to honor your journey, and you'll find that your life is already rich with meaning and purpose. 8. Don't neglect relationships. Emotional bonds are precious sources of life. As we journey through life, one undeniable truth becomes increasingly clear. The relationships we nurture are the heartbeats of our happiness and the anchors of our mental well-being. Yet, in the later chapters of life, the pull of solitude can often take over. Fatigue, physical limitations, or even a craving for personal space can tempt us to retreat into ourselves, forgetting that these connections are the threads that weave meaning into our lives. It's a mistake, one that many realize too late. Our relationships are not just casual parts of our existence. They are lifelines. They encourage when life feels heavy, companionship when days feel lonely, and a sense of belonging that reminds us we're not alone in this vast, unpredictable world. Neglecting these connections can leave us adrift, emotionally depleted, and even physically unwell. Research confirms that people with strong social ties tend to live longer, suffer fewer illnesses, and radiate more optimism. Conversely, loneliness can lead to depression, anxiety, and even increased risks of heart disease and memory decline. It's as if the absence of meaningful relationships drains the soul, leaving an emptiness that no other achievement or possession can fill. Why are these bonds so vital? Because they remind us of our humanity. Each conversation, each shared story, and even each comforting silence connects us to a sense of purpose. Relationships offer love, understanding, and the assurance that, no matter how stormy life gets, we are never navigating it alone. There's something profoundly healing about knowing someone is there to listen to you, to care for you, and to remind you of your worth. Picture this: an afternoon spent laughing with old friends, reliving treasured memories, or sharing quiet wisdom with grandchildren as their eyes light up with curiosity and wonder. These moments, small as they may seem, are the treasures of old age, enriching our days with joy and meaning. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Maintaining these relationships requires intention and effort, but the rewards far outweigh the work. Start by being proactive. Don't wait for others to reach out. Pick up the phone and call a friend, invite someone for a walk, or even send a heartfelt message. If your energy is limited, find simpler ways to connect, like sharing a warm letter or a thoughtful greeting. Let go of the fear of rejection or the hesitation of wondering if you're bothering someone. More often than not, your effort will be met with gratitude and mutual warmth. Quality matters more than quantity when it comes to relationships. Not all connections are meant to last forever, and that's okay. Seek those who uplift you, who share in your joys, and who stand with you in your struggles. These are the relationships that will fill your life with meaning and give you memories to cherish. Equally important is the act of nurturing these bonds. Relationships, like gardens, need tending. A small gesture, a quick call to check in, a visit to share a meal, or even an attentive ear to listen, can make a world of difference. In giving our time and care, we create a ripple of love that nourishes both ourselves and those around us. In the end, our relationships are among the most valuable treasures we carry through life. They offer us strength when we are weak, peace when life feels chaotic, and joy that lingers long after the moment has passed. Cherish them. Invest in them. And as you grow older, let these connections become your safe harbor, your source of laughter, and your reminder that even in the quietest moments, you are deeply loved and never alone. 9. Don't live without a plan. The importance of planning in old age. As we journey through life, we inevitably find that with age comes an ever-changing landscape. Our bodies, once energetic and unyielding, begin to slow down. The relationships that were once at the center of our lives may shift or evolve, and the goals we once had may no longer feel as important or urgent. But even in the face of all these transformations, one thing remains as essential as ever: the importance of planning. The truth is that many people in old age make the mistake of not planning for their lives ahead. And without a plan, the days can quickly begin to feel empty, aimless, and lacking in purpose. As we grow older, we realize that life isn't as simple as it once seemed when we were younger. The future may feel less certain, and there may be more days of uncertainty than we care to admit. Our physical abilities may change, our mental stamina may falter, and at times, we might feel like we're just waiting for something to happen. But that's exactly why planning becomes so crucial. A life without a plan is like a ship adrift in the ocean, tossed by waves with no clear destination in sight. You may go through the motions, but you will likely miss the magic of living fully. Planning, however, is the anchor that keeps us grounded. It provides direction, and just as importantly, it brings joy, structure, and excitement. When you have a plan, life takes on a new energy. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning, and to move forward with purpose. When you lack a plan, you may struggle to find motivation, and soon enough, days can slip by without much meaning. That feeling of being lost, of not knowing what comes next, can be disheartening and deeply unsettling. It's not about being busy for the sake of being busy, but about creating a life that has meaning, that aligns with your values, and that continues to be fulfilling. But the beauty of having a plan is that it empowers you to take control, regardless of your age. There's something profoundly uplifting about knowing that you are steering your ship, even when it feels like you're in uncharted waters. You are the captain of your journey. Whether it's planning for your health, your hobbies, or your relationships, having a clear roadmap for how you want to live adds purpose to every single day. It's not about rigid schedules or overwhelming lists of tasks, but about intentional actions that create a life you feel proud of, a life you can savor. Take health, for example. As we age, our bodies need more care and attention. Without a plan, It's all too easy to slip into unhealthy habits or to neglect ourselves in the hustle and bustle of life. However, with a plan in place, you can take proactive steps towards maintaining or improving your health. This could mean committing to regular exercise that suits your body's needs, planning meals that nourish both your body and mind, and incorporating practices like mindfulness or meditation that help you stay mentally sharp. The benefits of a health plan are profound. Not only do you feel better physically, but you also feel more in control of your future. Planning also plays an incredibly important role in maintaining meaningful connections with the people you love. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, or even to pull away when we feel like we don't have the energy or desire to socialize. But relationships are at the heart of our well-being, and if we don't actively nurture them, they can fade away. By planning regular visits with friends and family, or even phone calls or virtual chats, you're taking the time to prioritize the people who matter most. These moments of connection are not just activities. They are the very fabric that holds us together emotionally, providing support, love, and joy. A simple plan, whether it's a weekly dinner with a close friend or a monthly family get-together, can have a huge impact on your happiness and sense of belonging. The beauty of planning, especially in the later stages of life, is that it doesn't have to be a grand, sweeping gesture. The best plans are often the small, daily ones. It could be a morning routine that includes stretching, a nourishing breakfast, and some quiet reflection time. It might mean reading a chapter from a book you've always wanted to finish, or taking a short walk around the neighborhood just to breathe in the fresh air. These small habits build up, day by day, and keep life from becoming monotonous. They help maintain both your physical and mental health and create a sense of balance that's so vital in old age. Another profound benefit of planning is the way it fosters independence. As we age, there's a natural tendency to rely more on others for help and support. But planning allows you to keep a firm grasp on your own life. When you know what needs to be done and you've set a plan to take care of it, you are less likely to feel like a burden. You can continue to manage your daily activities, make your own decisions, and contribute to your family and community in ways that give you a sense of pride and self-worth. There is such beauty in retaining that independence and autonomy, and it's one of the greatest gifts planning can offer. Of course, not every plan will work out exactly as expected, and that's perfectly okay. Life is unpredictable, and flexibility is key. The goal isn't perfection. It's the intention behind the action. It's about setting goals that bring you joy and fulfillment, and adjusting them when needed. Maybe your plans for a long vacation get put on hold, but that doesn't mean you can't plan a local adventure or explore something new in your town. It's all about keeping that spark alive, staying curious, and remaining open to new experiences. Plans don't bind us. They liberate us to live with intention and joy. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that old age is not a time to stop dreaming. So often, people think of retirement as the end of the road, as a time to relax and stop striving for more. But life in our later years can be a time of incredible discovery and growth. We may not have the same physical energy as we did when we were younger, but we have something even more valuable: experience. And with experience comes the ability to dream in new ways, to think more deeply about what truly matters, and to pursue goals with a wisdom that only age can provide. Planning for old age should be seen as an opportunity to redefine what success looks like. It's about making time for what brings you peace, joy, and satisfaction. It's about leaving a legacy of love, compassion, and wisdom. No one should feel as though they have to stop dreaming simply because they've reached a certain age. With a plan, there's always something ahead to look forward to, something to work toward, and something to share with those who come after us. So, embrace the power of planning, no matter where you are in life. Don't let the passing years rob you of your passion, your direction, or your sense of purpose. Plan for the health you deserve, the relationships you cherish, and the adventures that await. Live each day with intention, with joy, and with the knowledge that you are still in charge of your own story. With a plan, you will not just live longer. You will live more fully, with depth, meaning, and the quiet contentment that comes from knowing you've made the most of every precious moment. 10. Don't ignore your emotions. Listen to your heart to live fully. As the years pass and life's rhythm slows, it's easy to develop a habit of dismissing your emotions. Perhaps you've been taught that feelings are a sign of weakness, or you've convinced yourself that they no longer matter in old age. Maybe you tell yourself that maintaining a composed, stoic facade is the best way to avoid burdening others. You might even believe that at this stage in life, there's no point in worrying about emotions. They're trivial, fleeting, and not worth the effort. But this mindset couldn't be further from the truth. Ignoring your emotions is like turning your back on your humanity. It is not just a disservice to your mental well-being, but a dangerous road that can profoundly impact your physical health and the overall quality of your life. Your emotions are not a hindrance. They are the voice of your heart, calling you to pay attention to what matters most. They guide you, heal you, and teach you if only you allow them. Emotions are the essence of what it means to be human, and they never outgrow their usefulness. At every age, they act as mirrors, reflecting your inner world and the life you're living. They show you when something feels wrong or when a moment deserves to be cherished. When you suppress your emotions, you're silencing these reflections. You're choosing not to look inward, not to connect with the deeper truths of your life. And this avoidance doesn't come without consequences. Repressed emotions do not simply vanish into thin air. They linger, accumulate, and fester beneath the surface. They might disguise themselves as irritability, fatigue, or even physical illness. Research has shown that unacknowledged emotions can lead to chronic stress, depression, and anxiety. Over time, these mental struggles take a toll on the body, manifesting as high blood pressure, heart conditions, weakened immunity, or persistent aches and pains. Imagine carrying around a heavy backpack filled with unresolved sadness, anger, and disappointment. Day by day, it grows heavier, until it becomes nearly impossible to move forward. This is what happens when emotions are ignored. They weigh you down, draining your vitality and robbing you of joy. Acknowledging your emotions is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. When you allow yourself to feel full, you give those emotions the space to move through you, instead of letting them settle and grow into something harmful. It's like opening a window to let fresh air in after a storm. The simple act of recognizing and accepting your feelings can release tension, bring clarity, and provide a sense of peace you may not have realized was missing. Emotions are not your enemy. They are messengers, offering insights into what your mind and body truly need. When sadness visits, it might be telling you to slow down and take stock of what's missing in your life. When anger rises, it could be pointing out a boundary that's been crossed or an injustice that needs addressing. Even feelings of disappointment are not just burdens. They are signals urging you to reflect, to adjust, and to find a new path forward. Dismissing these signals is like ignoring warning lights on a car dashboard. Eventually, the damage becomes unavoidable. And let's not forget the beauty of positive emotions. Happiness, love, pride, and gratitude are just as crucial as sadness or anger. These feelings color your world, making life vibrant and meaningful. When you fail to recognize moments of joy, whether it's a smile shared with a grandchild, the satisfaction of completing a personal project, or simply the warmth of the sun on your face, you miss out on the small treasures that make life rich. Positive emotions also act as fuel, keeping your mind optimistic and your heart hopeful. They motivate you, uplift you, and remind you of the good that still exists, even in challenging times. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. So, how can you listen to your emotions and honor them fully? Start by creating moments of stillness in your day. A quiet walk, a reflective journaling session, or simply sitting in silence. Give yourself the gift of time and space to feel without judgment. If emotions feel overwhelming, remember that expressing them can be cathartic. Speak with a trusted friend, write them down, or even cry if the need arises. These acts are not signs of defeat but of courage. Don't let fear of vulnerability hold you back. Sharing your emotions with others, even in small ways, can create deeper connections and remind you that you're not alone. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a bridge that brings people closer together. By opening up, you might inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of honesty and healing. Finally, understand that no emotion is wrong. Every feeling you have, whether it's sadness, joy, anger, or love, is valid. It reflects your unique journey, your struggles, and your triumphs. There's no need to suppress or deny these emotions out of fear of being misunderstood. Embrace them as part of your story, and let them guide you to a more authentic life. As we age, listening to our emotions becomes even more critical. They are not just fleeting reactions. They are tools for growth, healing, and connection. They remind us that life, even in its later chapters, is still full of meaning and opportunities for fulfillment. By honoring your emotions, you permit yourself to live fully, truthfully, and joyfully. In the end, emotions are the heartbeat of a life well lived. They guide us through our struggles, help us celebrate our victories, and teach us the lessons that make us wise. So, don't ignore them. Listen to your heart. It's the most reliable compass you'll ever have. Let your emotions be the map that leads you to a rich, serene, and deeply meaningful existence. Thank you for watching and spending your time with us today. We've explored the importance of emotions, how they shape our experiences, guide our decisions, and ultimately, help us live more authentic, fulfilling lives. But now, we want to hear from you. What resonated with you the most? What have you learned about honoring your emotions that you'll start practicing in your life? Share one thing you've taken away from this video and how you plan to apply it in the comments below. Your insight might just inspire someone else. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Together, let's embrace the wisdom of life and make every moment count. See you in the next video.